What's up everyone? We're in my garage and the lights are off. I have one light over here, and as you can see, we have DIS or dealer installed swirls on this beautiful 2016 GT3 RS in ultraviolet purple. So I'm going to show you the step-by-step process for removing that today on Drive and Protect. All the way in so that they sit on top. Touch up paint on. Can hear it. The pad is doing this kind of thing. On the first step of working on a vehicle like this is to remove all the coverings and look at the paint. Now I did that in a previous episode to this one, and I'll put the link somewhere up here or over here. Now the reason that it's very dark on camera is I have the lights turned off, and that's the way that we further inspect the paint. Now I know where the swirls are because I've already done this in a different episode, but I wanted to show you, so I'm going to pull the camera in and show you just how swirled out this car is. So the other thing I like to do, as you can see, I'll pull the camera in again and show you I'm on quick jacks right now, and I've lifted the car up. I did that for multiple reasons. One, it allows me to lay on my back and work on the bottom part of the car without bending over and hurting my knee. Two, when I'm working on the top of the car, I'm a gorilla, like I'm super tall, so it allows me to not bend over a lot. So that's kind of a huge deal. So I'm going to go over the quick steps on how to polish this out. It's really about focusing on priming the pad and removing a lot of the polish before you touch it. Okay, so I just did this spot right here and it actually worked really well, and I want to describe the step-by-step process because there's a little bit of a twist. All right, so the first thing is this. I have a yellow rupes pad. Now, let's back up a little bit. Why do we use these stiffer pads? These yellow ones are very stiff. Compared to a normal one. You think, all right, this paint is pretty soft. And again, people ask me, how do you get hard or soft? How do you find out hard or soft paint? Well, you have to test it. In this case, this one's soft. Some Porsches are hard. So why do we use a stiffer pad, a harder pad, when we have soft paint? It's very counterintuitive. We've shot a lot of videos on this, but it's wildly important. So when the pad is on the paint, think of the top of my head as the machine. I'm the pad and the floor is the paint. So when the machine is on up here and you have, let's say, a soft pad, right? Because you would think a soft pad on soft paint. Years ago, we would always do that. When the machine's up here and it's moving, the pad is doing this kind of thing, right, on the paint. So when it's doing that and your knees are sort of buckling, it's rolling over the paint and causing these swirls. And people are like, how do I can't get a softer pad on a softer paint. It doesn't make any sense. It's not working. And they're shooting me emails. Okay. Scenario again, machine is up here, right? The backing plate is my head, let's call it. I'm the pad, I'm a stiff pad, and the paint is the floor. When this moves, I go like this, right? I'm sort of squeegeeing the paint. I'm not bending all over the place, I'm squeegeeing the paint. Why is that important? Because it's not rolling over. That means you're pushing the polish right to the paint, it's doing its work, and it's staying, right on the paint. Again, it's a little bit of a weird concept. So, that's why I'm using the yellow pad. So we're using a yellow pad, that's the background information, the yellow pad, and we're priming it. And now a lot of you are gonna say, Larry, I've seen you prime, this one's already been primed, so I'm putting this to the side to show you the steps. Here, look, I'm taking it out of the box. Larry, you've shown me how to prime a pad a zillion times here. Why are you doing it again? Well, there's a little bit of a catch. So we're gonna put this on. So I'm showing you, and you can actually, did you hear that? It's actually very stiff as compared to one that's been primed and used like 3 or 4 times. Meaning 3 or 4 passes, it softens up. So, brand new spanking pad. We're gonna take 205 and we are going to, remember this is just for swirls on very soft paint, especially dealer install ones. So we're gonna put some product there and you're gonna say, oh man, I've seen you do this, great. Well, we're gonna do it again, but there's gonna be a little bit of a catch. So I remember the first time I saw Kevin Brown do this. I'll move a little closer so you can see Kevin Brown do this. I thought, man, this guy is really going overboard, but okay, he's the best polisher in the world. What do I know? So over the years, I've learned that you can't really shortchange this. This isn't like do this step and then you're done and like move on to something else. No, you really need to prime this properly. You notice I added a little bit more because I saw that there was non-coverage, a spot that didn't have coverage everywhere. So this is what softens up the pad too. Okay, now that is primed. So what we're gonna do, take my towel, put it to the side so I'm nice and clean. Now we're gonna take air, and it's a little awkward here because I do it on camera. I would normally do it behind the camera, so we're gonna take this, Ow. And now, I have 205 on my hand, it's very slippery. We're gonna blow it out. Okay. So now, we just primed the pad, right? And I just blew it out. So let's like, why are you doing that? You're wasting product. Well, no, you just made this soft. You got everything in the pores. Now there's really not anything in the pad like you normally would polish. Does that make sense? That's a little bit of a trick. Then you take one little dot, that much, pea-sized dot, see it? Right there. And now you attack the paint. And when you do, you go to speed 2, see that right there? I'm on about a little bit less than 2 because I have the washer mod in here, and this thing takes off even at 1.5-ish, it takes off. So the point of me saying this is you wanna go slower speed, you wanna prime it properly, this little trick on priming, that's not a normal prime, because normally you could just prime it and go. Put one dot, and you wanna work a small 2x2 area, maybe about this big, and when you're done, you have to blow the pad back out again, and then add one little dot, do a 2x2 section, probably a little bit less than that. I wanna say 1x2, like a little bit less than a 2x2, blow it out again. So this is what takes forever, and why I see a dealer install swirls and I go like, "Argh!" because it takes forever to do, because the paint's coming off. The guy who did it at the dealer isn't at the level of this sort of conversation. It's like, let's just get it done kind of thing. So the last little caveat here is I'll pull the camera in, there is a ridge here. And what's very important is when you have a ridge, typically, the camera's over here, so I'll just do it here. Typically, when you have a ridge, you can bend the pad, right? Like if it was a microfiber cutting pad, I would bend it a little bit, and you can get in there and, sort of scallop that little section, and you're okay. When you're taking out these specific DIS marks, you have to keep the pad perfectly flat. Why? Because that same thing we talked about before, you want to be able to squeegee it perfectly. Now, if it's tilted up like this, and now you're rotating, it just doesn't work as well. So keep that in mind. You can make fun of me all you want, but you'll never forget that. You want a stiff pad, your machine's up here, keep it so it's not tilted like this. You can get away with tilting with microfiber cutting pad when you're cutting. Cutting's a little bit more of what I call a bloodier thing. You can kind of be a little bit, we're cutting, it doesn't really matter. The finishing is the beauty, that's where you make all the money, and that's the pretty part. So keep it nice and flat, this technique, and you're good to go. I have a lot of work ahead of me. When I'm done, I'll show you the pretty shots, and I'll show you the inside stuff too, but got a lot of work to do. After 3 long days, we finally got this car dialed in. It had swirls pretty much everywhere, and we got that out with M205 and a yellow rupes pad. Afterwards, we put a clear bra on because this is a daily driver / weekend track car. Of course, I put the AMMO badges on there, which make the car, I love it. And then we put AMMO reflex on the bra, so you can put reflex on the car and the bra, and now it is super slick. And then of course I put AMMO gelée on the wheels because it's a race car, so it's going to get lots of brake dust and that sort of thing. So if you have any questions, shoot me an email at larry@ammonyc.com. This was a very fun, unique, wild color, purple outside, yellow stitching on the inside, pretty neat. And yeah, we'll see you next time.